Good morning, everyone. Yesterday, after I finished up with the video yesterday, uh, and Sissy did come home a little earlier than usual. We were both kind of said, "Hey, let's just take it easy for the rest of the day, you know." And and we were both kind of in agreement. Oh, it would sure be nice, just to have a day. Let's not cook, just any snack and go to bed early and just relax, right? Yes. I'm laying here about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. It was already dark. The horses were already in. This and everything was already taken care of. I'm hollering over to Sissy and I said, "Hey, are you hearing what I'm hearing?" She said, "No." I think it's a car. And she looked out her window and she goes, "The guys are back." And I'm going, "Ah." Which, of course, I'm always happy. Oh, it looks like I got a scrape here yesterday. I'm always happy when people get home safe, okay? So there's that. But I thought, oh, that means they're going to be hungry. So I go downstairs, and I go out and I say, "Hey, honey, are you hungry?" And he says, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you have anything cooked?" I said, "No, but I will. So made a delicious carnivore meal, though he was willing to eat some of the ratatouille sauce with the eggs that I made him as well. Anywho, so I think he's starting to add some other foods to his diet again. Anyway, uh, so then after that, I said, "Okay, guys, I'm tired. I'm going back to bed." It's been every day, every day. It's springtime here too. Oh dear, how much fun! Um, I don't have anything else to say really. I'm a little tired still. Slept really good. I'd have to say, I slept really, really good these days. But I'm still a little tired. My head's a little bit in a fog still. But I thought I'd get this going because it's getting crunch time. And time will just fly. I don't know how other people feel about that, but I feel the older that I get, the faster time just flies. It's not even, oh, it's the beginning of the day. Oh, it's the next beginning of the day. Yeah. It's, oh, wait a minute, it was the beginning of the week. Now it's already the beginning of the week again. Or the end of the week. It was the end of the week. Now it's the end of the week again. Yes. And whoop, here is another month gone. Oh, also, it feels more like, oh, we're already in the next season again. Yes. What? And whoop, here goes what? Another year. I'm amazed on how quickly time is moving in a way for me. And I think, oh, I've got plenty of time to do all this. And suddenly I'm going, whoa, where did the time go? Yes. Yeah, I find that interesting. Growing older for me has never been, oh, you're not that old yet. Yeah, that's what people tell me. But again, growing older for me has always been a pleasure. I was, I feel like there's always something to get to next. Yeah. And, oh, I wonder once, now I'm going towards retirement. And I'm going, oh, I wonder how that's going to feel, right? Will there still be some retirement money for me, the government, what I kind of paid into? Become more independent? Yeah, well, depending on the government, you'd be surprised how you could live here in this place. Well, if one would have to. Well, anywho, let's go to second book of Chronicles 23. Ah, Father, give me patience to read this. Yeah. In the 7th year of the reign of Queen Atalia, they had a queen. 2 kings and a queen. Is that what happened? That's interesting. Oh, I was just going to say, didn't anybody, obviously, that was also not a nice reign, and people were, no doubt, not treated nicely. No, there's nobody there to, it's one woman. What the heck? Oh, with all the, oh, come on, just give me a break. Jehoiada the priest got up his courage and took some of the army officers into his confidence. Oh, Azariah, son of Jeroham, Ishmael, son of Jehohanan, Azariah, son of Obed, Maaseiah, son of Adiah, and Elishaphat, son of Sikri. Oh, these men traveled out across the nation secretly to tell the Levites and clan leaders about his plans and to summon them to Jerusalem. We got a rebellion going on here now. Oh, yeah, okay. On arrival, they swore allegiance to the young king, who was still in hiding at the temple. Oh, yeah, we already read about this too. Ugh. In the Book of Kings. You tell you what. Who you trying to convince? Okay, see. At last the time has come for the king's son to reign, Jehoiada exclaimed. And he was what? Wait a minute. He wasn't that old. He was there for 6 years. Wasn't he 7 or 8 when they came out of hiding? I think. Oh, so I have to read it twice. It didn't stick the first time. Why would it have to stick? This is nothing I really want to know about. Eek. All right, we're restoring. I got it. That's the important part. You guys need. Oh, yes, yes, yes. It's just very frustrating to read about all this stuff that you guys did. Now you're waiting for someone else to fix it. Nice. Not nice. Yeah, you better bow your heads. The Lord's promise that a descendant of King David shall be our king will be true again. This is how we'll proceed. A third of you, priests and Levites, who came off duty on the Sabbath will stay at the entrance as guards. Another third will go over to the palace, and a third will be at the lower gate. Everyone else must stay in the outer courts of the temple, as required by God's laws. For only the priests and Levites on duty may enter the temple itself, for they are sanctified. Ooh. That's so weird. That's not God's laws. This is people's laws. I don't see how God would deny entrance to his home, his temple, to anyone. Doesn't matter who they are, how clean or dirty. Talking about it. We know what sanctified means here. It doesn't mean they prepared themselves with prayers and all, yeah. You Levites form a bodyguard for the king, weapons in hand, and kill any unauthorized person entering the temple. Stay right beside the king. God almighty, what? I mean, I get it. You don't want an assassin to get in or something, but they didn't know the boy was there. Okay, all right. Ugh, I'm gonna get hung up on all this stuff. So all the arrangements were made. Each of the... I prayed for patience, Father. I'm not getting it, am I? Okay. That's up to me again. Okay. Oh my gosh. Guys, I have to make this a little fun and humorous and okay, some might call it something different, but It's so hard to read this, really. My heart hurts. I'm not just laughing and making fun of it. My heart hurts reading this stuff. What did they make God into? How did they abuse God? His home, even. His home, the temple, was that his home? Anyway, it's just so sad. So all the arrangements were made. Each of the three leaders led a third of the priests arriving for duty that Sabbath, and a third of those whose week's work was done and were going off duty, for Jehoiada, the chief priest, didn't release them to go home. Then Jehoiada issued spears and shields to all the army officers. These had once belonged to King David and were stored in the temple. These officers, fully armed, formed a line from one side to the other in front of the temple and around the altar in the outer court. You know the spears and the shields they're talking about? Well, first of all, they weren't the ones that King David made anymore, right? Because they were all taken by his son and given, right? They gave that as tribute, right? So that there wouldn't be any war, right? And then they made them out of Solomon did that, I think, and then he made them out of what, bronze or something, right? So again, it's interesting on how they put us all in here, just in a way so detailed again, right? And yet, but that's not what it said beforehand, right? Just stories. Someone made it up. Sounds like it. There's probably some truth in it. There probably was that little prince, right? That was saved somehow, didn't get killed, right? Yes? That's about probably the only thing. That's true. Then they brought out the little prince and placed a crown upon his head and handed him a copy of the law of God and proclaimed him king. I've said this the last time when I read this in the book of Kings. How dare they take a little child? That's a child. That's a little boy, okay? A little prince. And put a crown on his head. That's abuse of a child right there. What the heck's a little boy gonna do as being king? Huh? I don't care who that little boy is. Does it matter if he comes from David's lineage or someone else's lineage? You don't do that to a child, right? Am I not right? Somebody thinks I'm not right? Well, then you got a problem. A great shout went up, "Long live the king," as Jehoiada and his sons anointed him. Oh my gosh. When King Athaliah heard all the noise and commotion and the shouts of praise to the king, she rushed over to the temple to see what was going on. And there stood the king by his pillar at the entrance with the army officers and the trumpeters surrounding him, and people from all over the land, and rejoicing and blowing trumpets, and the singers singing, accompanied by an orchestra, leading the people in a great psalm of praise. Athaliah ripped her clothes and screamed, "Treason! Treason! Take her out and kill her!" Jehoiada, the priest, shouted to the army officers, "Don't do it here at the temple, and kill anyone who tries to help her." So the crowd opened up for them to take her out, and they killed her at the palace stables. You know, it doesn't matter where you kill someone, it's still going to be where? Within God's creation? Okay, just saying. I may look at things a little differently, but this is just... Who are you trying to fool? Well, here's the other thing, too. Now, this woman's been, in power for 6 years. And here, they're all just getting together and saying, "Oh, we're going to crown that little boy." Now, he's old enough now, right? Okay. What, 7 or 8 years old, right? So he got away when he was a baby. Anywho. So here they are, and they're all, da, 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 da. Now, I'm not getting, how come? And it seems like that woman, Atalia, had no power at all, right? She says, "Oh, what are you guys doing? What's going on?" Doesn't even protect herself or anything? Now, obviously, she should know she's not very well liked, right? Yes, so what was going on exactly? And why? And here, right, I said, does that sound right to you all? I mean, it sounds like some kind of a bad script to me to make a movie with it. Eh, yes? But was this really how it went down? Oh, don't kill her at the temple or in the temple, right? Take her somewhere else. And what difference does that make? I'm just saying. Okay? I mean, hello? So she didn't have any protection, regardless, right? Sounds like it. Oh, everybody just went over to the other side. Yeah. And the 6 years that nobody did anything? Are you kidding me? They had to have a little boy king in order to do what? Set things straight? Huh? Wow. Okay. Some adults, they were, huh? Having to depend on a little boy? All right, just saying. Then Jehoiada made a solemn contract that he and the king and the people would be the lords. Again. Oh, this time they were serious. That's what solemn means. And all the people rushed over to the temple of Baal and knocked it down and broke up the altars and knocked down the idols and killed Matan, the priest of Baal, before his altar. Jehoiada now appointed the Levite priests as guards and to sacrifice the burnt offering to the Lord as prescribed in the law of Moses. He made the identical assignments of the Levite clans that King David had. Now, why did that not happen with some of the other kings that were obviously good or better? Right? Remember, always the worship altars of the other idols in the hills. Well, they hadn't taken that. Well, those down. Okay. Now here suddenly everybody, right? Okay. Now we got that woman is dead. That boy king is on the throne. And now we're going to destroy everything. Everybody rushed. It didn't just say the king went, took everything down, told the people, sent the priests. No, you see this? Why suddenly? Why did they suddenly do that? Why did they not do that? Right? With Yehoshaphat, for example. How does this make sense when you consider the reigns of other kings before them? Not the wicked, supposed wicked ones. Right? Do you know what I mean? How does this make sense? Yeah. They sang with joy as they worked. The guards at the temple gates kept out everything that was not consecrated and all unauthorized personnel. Okay. Then the army officers, nobles, governors, and all the people escorted the king from the temple, wending their way from the upper gate to the palace and seated the king upon his throne. So all the people of the land rejoiced, and the city was quiet and peaceful because Queen Atalia was dead. What an accomplishment. Great. All right. That was 24. Ta-da. Interesting. I know that when suddenly I start talking the spirit world, this and that, you know, one could say, oh, well, she must have, she's not quite right in the head there, and she has schizophrenia or something. Schizophrenia is where people hear voices, right? This, that, yes. And it's not like that. I believe that schizophrenia, the people hearing voices, I absolutely believe that they do hear them. And they just don't know where to go with that. They don't know how to They don't know what to do with what they're hearing. They don't know what to do with what they're feeling, and they don't know what to do with what they're seeing, okay, coming from spirit world. And I've said this before, it's not just good spirit world that connects with people. How negative spirit world, negative spirits do it, I'm not sure. They're not supposed to be able to do that. And I think that, sadly, negative spirits are spirits that are restoring. I'll say a negative spirit, a spirit that has has something bad in mind, or wants you to do something bad, is yelping for help. Okay, restoration. It's always like that. It's always been like that for me. And that's one thing for so negative energy that collects here that we create, like for example cussing and cursing, okay, using those nasty words in the realm of love. I'm just saying that. And I believe that is that is a way for negative spirits to manifest ourselves, to be heard. And of course, it's not pretty. When you are surrounded by spirits like that, which thankfully I've never experienced, it's probably a mumble jumble of voices, and one comes out every once in a while with a clear something sentence. But I'm just saying, then people who are afflicted, who are open to spirit world like that, are do some odd things, right? Yes, like one of them is try to kill herself. Okay, yeah, you'd be surprised how that often is not the will of the person. Right? That okay. So, but in my case, right? Yes, though I know that there are many spirits around, they are, it's the give and take that I have with them is harmonious. It's very harmonious and peaceful. And when they communicate, and even if they all communicate together, it's done in one wave kind of thing. It's difficult to explain it, but that's how it feels like, as if the group, in order to sustain the harmony and the peace, have to be in unity. They have to be in one. So there is the communication all is in unison. It's united, and I'm only getting one. Yes, I get a very clear. There's one thread. There's not, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands, which would be confusing, right? Well, okay, who's talking right now? What's going on? Oh, I heard that one. What? And you're only getting this. My communication with spirit world is very harmonious and peaceful. You getting that? Yes. And it's because where the good side of spirit world, good spirits, they work in absolute 100% harmony and unity. Do you know what I mean? So they're all coming with the same intention. Yes, or guidance, or right? Yes, okay. Even if they need help, right? Yeah. In that sense, uh, working together with them, and vice versa. Right? Yeah. Okay. Anywho, so no, I'm not. Yeah, that's the difference between truly working together with spirit world and understanding our five senses, and getting confused by them, and then be labeled, schizophrenic, crazy. All right, talking to the dead, whatever. So I thought I'd explain that a little bit. Gonna just mention this real quick for a friend as well, because it keeps coming up. PTSD in soldiers. The best thing that I can give out there when it comes to that, to either people who take care of them, uh, or to soldiers themselves that are struggling for whatever reason, things that have been done, and it's done and over with. Move forward with asking for forgiveness of the lives that you had to take, and forgive the people who put you into a position where you had to see horrific things that no human being should be a part of. So that's it. You ask sincerely for forgiveness for the lives that you had to take. Any life, doesn't matter. Because that's where the confusion, the anger, the depression, anxiety, that's where it's coming from. From spirits around you that those lives were taken by you. This is not the army anymore. Now one deals with the spirit world. And in a way, you're the one who has to take care of, just you individually, of what you've done there. Witness there. Understand? So that's what you do. You move forward with making a prayer condition. Start to read the Bible for, like God, to restore, and to teach the spirits around you that, okay, just saying. The first step is repent sincerely in front of the lives that you have taken. And you've got to forgive. You don't need to forget. You can get upset every once in a while. Like, yeah, just do it coherently and with purpose. Right? Tell them leaders what doofuses they are to put people against people someplace so they can shoot each other, maim each other. Okay? All right? Just saying. If that's what one needs to do, then you start writing them letters. Do you know what I went through right here? And I need to forgive you because you did that to me. You need to do that. That's all right to do in the physical. It is an outlet. But you've got to be able to forgive them for the horrible things that one had to witness in war. That's another one. Yes, it's what you start with. And things will get better. Okay, better. It's a start. And sadly, PTSD isn't just about the individual, though it is the individual who needs to take care of it in a way. It's about every spirit around you that's not feeling all that great about you now. Right? Just say. So how does one do that? Repent, humble yourself, be sincere. About asking for forgiveness. All right? Huh? You're allowed to live. I know why things are out there the way they are. It's just what it is. People get pulled into, right? It's a great thing to be a soldier, isn't it? An honor, this, that. Don't you feel you're being pulled into something a little bit? If we were such a great thing to fight against. I'm talking to every army out there, okay? Not just, I get the, oh, we're on the good side. Oh, they're the bad people. I get it, okay? Doesn't anybody out there think that's a weird thing? We're all designed to, as a man or a woman, to become a husband and a wife, and then have children. Most of us do, and create families all over the world. It's the same thing. Doesn't matter where you come from, what continent. It's the same everywhere. So in a way, we're all the same, aren't we? But here we do what? Because of who is telling us to do so? Just say. And that makes people what? Rather than say, what was so great about this, doing that? Really, when it comes down to it. And if it is so great, why is it creating so much havoc in people's minds? Spirit. Hmm? Yeah. Just asking. But I just gave you again. Any PTSD is kind of, yes, kind of like that. I have to tell you honestly, when it comes to women after giving birth and they got some kind of a PTSD thing going, I'm not sure what that is. I guess what happens, I'm assuming what happens is when some women give birth, once the child is born, they realize that now they have to give up a lot of other things. It's as if they realize that their freedom is not there anymore subconsciously, and it the responsibility that they're suddenly given to take care of a child is too overwhelming. Yes. What to do there? Well, I think this is one of those things. Again, I'm not sure. I'm not quite. I've never talked to a woman that had PTSD after birth. I've never had it. I've never talked to one. So I'm not sure. Not sure what goes on there. The best. Okay, there. All I can say is there have to be people around moms and babies. First of all, they need to be took care of. Okay, to begin with, a few days. And if one does that, it's not that hard to figure out. Okay, is mom and baby really okay? Not just physically, but spiritually. And see how the mom reacts with the baby. Right? Yes? Hmm. That PTSD doesn't just gradually, it's there right from the beginning. So, and then make sure to I don't know. As I said, it's a difficult one. And, oh, don't you want to interfere? No, it's just a watch, and to maybe bring that up as a good friend, as a mom, as a grandma. Say, hey, honey, are you having a little bit of a hard time with this? Then I want you to know that I'm here, that you can talk to someone. Right? Yes. As I said, I'm not sure where that's coming from. That must have something to do. I would say women that have postpartum depression in their ancestry, something went wrong with a child. And they're carrying that burden. So again, that's always the same in a way. It comes always down to the same. The best thing is when you start feeling a little funky, yes, after giving birth, ask for forgiveness for something that happened in your ancestry with a child. Yes? Where somehow resentment is coming through and is hitting you. Anyway, just saying, right? Yes. I think it's better to, I don't have it all 100% figured out, but I think it's better to try something than nothing, or just depend on pills. You know what I mean? Um, and to find that avenue to spirit world where even negative spirit world, again, they're usually yelping. I call it yelping for help. Okay, and said, oh, you start feeling depressed, anxiety, certain other things. Just stop for a moment before it gets too bad, where then you can get out of your funk. yourself, okay? Stop for a moment. Oh, is there someone around yelping for help? And they immediately will back up because now they've found that to start with. But it's not just that. Often there's a surprise of, oh, I'm not just being rejected. I'm actually being asked. Something's going on. The spirits feel that way. Yes, see? What happens with an unhappy child when you reject it and then beat it, or people do, on top of everything, hurt the child even more? What happens? The child gets usually even more mad. It happens to us adults too. We get more mad, angry. But if someone comes and says, "Hey, you need a hug? I'll listen to you. What's going on? Tell me." What happens? You diffuse a situation. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to try it. When someone comes at me with a gun, I'm going, "Hey, how about a meal? Can I cook something for you?" I'm just saying. That's in the physical, but now we're not talking spiritual. But anyway, I know you want me to keep talking about it. I'm getting it, but I think we need to finish up here. It's too much for the people. So, are you getting my drift here a little bit? Yes? And when you do that, then also, okay, so are you yelping for help? All right. So, what do you need? Oftentimes, it will come immediately to you. Okay, all right, it does to me. And I think anybody else, if you're willing to listen, it's the same thing. See, being afraid to listen can also get you very confused, okay? Yes, because they keep pushing. Yeah, you see, yeah, there's all this. And then just say a prayer. If you're not sure, if you listen and something comes back as, I'm hurt, from spirit world, I'm hurt. That usually means that they need forgiveness, right? So I'm sorry. I'm really sorry that happened to you. You know what? I'm going to say a prayer. I'm going to say the Lord's Prayer for you. If maybe there are other prayers that you really like, this and that, or one just comes. Since we're not sure, since often I'm not sure exactly what happened to them, then I keep it as neutral as I can so that I don't stir up something accidentally. Okay? Yes, there is that as well. So oftentimes, the Lord's Prayer is the most amazing prayer when it comes to all that. So to stop, suddenly if you go, whoa, what's suddenly coming over me? Just, stop. Who's yelping for help? What do you need? Let's say the Lord's Prayer. Trust in Jesus. Yes. And there you go. And you do that. And then if you try it, I guarantee you, you're going to immediately afterwards go, whoa, I feel so much better. I feel better than I did before it started. Yes? And one can also do that with someone else that suffers. And one sees that suffers and say, hey, look, it seems like there's someone around you that's yelping for help, a spirit or something. So let's say the Lord's Prayer together. Yes? Yeah. Where there's two or more gathered in my name, there I will be also. Good one to remember as well. Yes. Okay. Besides, then, of course, there's the second coming with true parents and the blessing. Yes. And eventually everyone will get to that. Yeah? I talk about that as well. But I know that the majority of the people, right, the guidance is Jesus. Yes? Right. Eventually you will meet true parents. And you realize that true father, now true mother, amazing guidance out there. Yes? To lay your own foundations for your family. And of course, one of them is the blessing. Get attached to God's lineage again. Yes? Yeah, it's great. Right? Hey, and if it's not working, if it doesn't do no good, if it may be just a shower, it won't hurt you neither. Just saying. God's love and blessings always. May He protect you. Yeah? Yes? use a little common sense as well. And I will talk to you another time.